All right. So we are apparently live here. Right. Trying to get all this figured out here. I had a issue with my chat not working. A little pop-up in OBS here. We'll try and get that back, hopefully. But yeah, so there is a live tornado warning or possibility. It's 5%. Right, let's get this chat back on and going. Um, right, let's go ahead. Well, that's not working. Hold on. I'm just gonna have to have my chat out here since I kind of have no idea what I'm kind of doing this. I haven't streamed in a long time, but let's see if I can get this to work. But right now, there is a 5% tornado warning, or possibility, I guess, in the northeast part of Nebraska, closer to Des Moines and Omaha. Um, the affected cities are Norfolk, Sioux City, and Omaha, and the 2% goes from northeast Nebraska all the way to Chicago almost. It's a very big possibility here. There are tiny storms happening in Colorado right now with strong to significant wind damage and speeds. Right here up in Denver, we have a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust storm moving in, as well as a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings going on throughout the High Plains. But what we are looking at right now is the 5% tornado possibility because there are tons of populated cities here, including Omaha and Sioux City. So I'm going to be focusing on this right here, but if you look in the bottom right on your screen here, it's below my mouse, there's a severe thunderstorm overlay with severe thunderstorms, tornado warnings, and emergencies. So when this updates, it'll update in real time. So, that being said, not much is happening right now. Um, Yankton did have a pretty significant hail core on radar here. Let's see if I can go back in time. Doesn't seem to want to respond to my clicks here on my radar toolbox, but it is what it is. But there was a pretty significant hail core over Yankton, but it seems like it has died out. Um, there is a big echo top area over here. Um, it's not crazy right now. It's pretty moderate, just some high clouds. But once we start seeing it go into the oranges and yellows and reds and whites, then we should be very concerned because that means that the storm is producing stronger winds and possibly hail. But right now, it seems pretty calm. There's no rotation in the air. Seems like we just have a lot of precipitation. All right, we have a tornado watch confirmed up in Idaho. It seems. I believe I'm reading that correct. Um, South Dakota, actually. So up over here. Where is South Dakota? Oh, it's up here. Never mind. Just kidding. South Dakota is right here, I believe. So if this is North Dakota, then this has to be south. But for some reason, I don't see it. There is no tornado watch on my radar here. Let's see where that is. Let's see if I can find it here. Let's see, where is it? It said Harrison. Illinois. I don't see any rotation or anything like that. It's odd. Oh, actually, you know what I could do? I could just do the alerts right here. Let's see. Yeah, there is no tornado watch. It's kind of odd. See if I can scale this down so I can have it on my other screen here. I do not see any tornado watches on radar here. There's no pop-ups or anything. Let's see. Yeah, there's no tornado watches on my radar here. Unless, let's see. Yeah, because I haven't observed here and there's no observation. But, oh, there goes my tornado probability. It's gone. Oh well. But there is apparently a tornado watch in Nebraska for the following um, towns and counties below: Harrison, Indiana; Monana, Indiana; Antelope, Nebraska; Boone, Nebraska; Burt, Nebraska; Butler, Nebraska; Cedar, Nebraska; Colfax, Nebraska; Cumming, Nebraska; Dodge, Nebraska; Douglas, Nebraska; Knox, Nebraska; and Madison, Nebraska, as well as Pierce, Nebraska; Platt, Nebraska, and Monona. Um, I don't see those on my radar here. Let's see. Well, I guess I can't search. But there is a tornado watch, so make sure you guys are weather aware over there. Um, Here we go. This is where Pierce is. So I'm guessing that this storm right here is on the tornado watch. But I don't really see any sort of rotation, like major rotation or hail core or anything like that. It's pretty quiet right now. It's just a chain of storms. Yeah, it's pretty quiet. So there are some pretty tall echo tops here, little storms that are popping up, which is the green down here. But other than that, there is no significant tornado watch on my radar here. Um, but that does not mean that there is a tornado watch somewhere else. I'm guessing that the percentage of the tornado, which is this pink, I guess, oval, that is the percentage of tornado possibility that can be formed when storms are in this area. So that could be what the tornado watch is for. But there is no observed current tornado or rotation whatsoever. So if you're in these areas in northeast Nebraska and western Iowa, make sure that you stay weather aware. All right. Not much is going on here. We're just waiting for these storms to pop off and hopefully not produce any severe tornadoes. If it does, then that would be interesting to see on radar here. But so far, it's kind of quiet. There is a little bit of storm popping in and out. Right. So we do have a tornado watch for um, Iowa and Nebraska. That is in effect until 10 p.m. CDT. Don't know why the time zone is cut off, but figure that out after this stream. But so far, we're looking good. Looks like the storms are dying down a little bit. The echo tops are very small. So not much is happening around this 5% possibility. Let's see, let's check the categorical. So this is in the, I believe it's a moderate risk. I can't really tell. My colors are different than other sites like My Radar and stuff, but you have a significant hail warning and significant wind forecast for this 5% tornado possibility. The wind speeds are pretty calm right now, but other than that, it's pretty quiet, so it's good. I'm going to open My Radar to see if there is any future storms coming in. Yeah, so there is an enhanced risk for Omaha, as well as Fort Dodge, Norfolk, Sioux City, stuff like that. So, as we are looking into the future radar here, you can see that this is where the tornado watch is. It does not show me on my other radar over here. I could set it up, but I'll do that later. But there is a tornado watch for this entire area, including Omaha, which is a larger city in, I think, eastern Nebraska, and Sioux City. So as we're looking into the future radar here, let's give it a second to load. There is going to be quite the storms happening throughout midnight. Don't know why it's going all the way to 8 p.m. Want it to be... All right, here we go. So looking at 4 p.m., which is around 30 minutes right now, 4 p.m. CDT, that line of storms looks like it's going to move cross and slowly die out as new storms from the west start moving in, and tons of scattered storms. It looks like they might be fighting over the same um, inflow and atmosphere, meaning that some of these smaller storms can get eaten by the bigger ones and potentially kill the storms or um, increase the severity of the storms. But as we're looking at it right now, there is no major weather happening. But as soon as it hits 4 o'clock CDT, you can see that these storms right here start popping up, as well as tons of other ones moving into Omaha, Sioux City, and a large chunk of eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. So, that being said, make sure you guys are staying weather aware if you are in eastern Nebraska and western Iowa. There are tons of storms happening tonight through the late afternoon into the early morning. It seems like the storms are still going strong at 1:15 a.m. CDT. But this can always change and whatnot, so make sure that you guys are weather aware. I will be keeping this stream up as long as I can. Um, but yeah, so got that right there. So I think what I'm going to do now is attempt to um, and put a new place file for the um, tornado watches. Go ahead and do that while I have my mind on it. Place files. Here we go. Here we go. And it should be added. There we go. Look at that. That is the tornado watch, that red box right there. It says that it is customizable, but I don't know how to do that. Oh, here we go. Customize. Here we go. Choose a line color. We'll do... do that, do that. For the tornado watches, we'll do kind of a darker yellow, orange, I guess. And here we go. Alright, we're going to add it, and... did not work. No, it's not working. Alright. Looks like I'll just go to the... Let's see. This is not working right now. I'm trying to get the SPC watch lines to work here, but oh, there it goes. Just had to refresh it here. Alright, I can add my own now. Watch lines or polygons. What is that? Let's check these out. Oh, okay, so it's a filled in view. Let's stop messing with this here and get it figured out. All right. All right, there we go. Look at that. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. So there's a tornado watch. I'm starting to see it now with the new added polygon stuff going on here. So pretty nice. All right. So not much is happening. This yellow square is the tornado watch. So it's basically almost half of Nebraska, the eastern part of Nebraska, into the western Iowa regions. But that is kind of obvious here, I believe. So, yeah, not much is happening. We're still waiting for this storm to pop off, so we'll give it a couple. And we have a new tornado, or not tornado, thunderstorm, severe thunderstorm, I believe that is, down in, where is this? Severe thunderstorm warning for, let's see if I can zoom in, I can't, for northwestern Franklin County, Phelps County, Kearney County, Harlan County, and central Nebraska. So it does look like we do have a storm popping up here. It does look pretty decent. It is popping off here. This is what we've been waiting for, guys. So as it moves into this tornado warning and tornado, or this 2% tornado up into the 5%, it could increase in severity. If not, then it could just die off. But right now, we do have a pretty decent storm brewing in north and central Nebraska here. It does look pretty decent. The hail core, which is this view right here with all of the colors where my mouse is. You can also see the color palette at the bottom of the radar. And the farther, I think, right you go, the more severe it gets. So it is popping off. There is a echo top, pretty decent one. Looks like it's collapsing right now, but I can shoot back up here any minute. But as of now, the hazards are 60-mile-per-hour winds and nickel-size hail for central Nebraska, south central Nebraska. for the following counties: Franklin County, Phelps County, Kearney County, Harlan County, um, and it is moving northeast at 35 miles an hour with 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and, again, nickel-sized hail. There can be damage to roofs, sidings, and trees, so as this storm develops, make sure to stay weather aware if you're in these regions or those counties. You might get a radar update here in a couple minutes or seconds. Um, yeah, this storm is popping off here. And look, right here, we have these smaller storms popping up just as the future radar said. So we also have these little guys popping up. They are growing in terms of ecotops, it seems, and DVL, which is vertical integrated liquid. It's kind of a lot to explain, but if you know how to read radar, then you're pretty set for weather alerts and stuff. So looks like we have another tiny storm popping up over here. Looks like there is one popping off of the main storm, and hopefully not growing too bad in size. I believe because it's a smaller storm, it will be eaten by the larger storm here. All right, so let's see this storm pop off. My apologies for the change in the weather alert system. I'm trying to get this thing figured out as good as I can. This is my first time streaming, so hopefully this layout looks a little better. All right. So we should be doing pretty well with the stream right now. I mean, the audio, I'm watching it back right now. The audio is not great. I have definitely got to figure out the audio here on the stream. So we're doing pretty decent right now with the storm here. It looks like it is increasing in severity, which is not uncommon. The echo top seems to be staying in the same strength, it seems. So, um, we just have this little storm potentially increasing in severity and causing some pretty large uh, hail as well as lots of rain, as expected with some severe thunderstorms. But hopefully, this does not produce a tornado, because it is going to a lot of populated areas. Seems like it is heading towards Grand Island. So if you are in Grand Island, Nebraska, make sure that you watch out for this storm, as it could possibly be going towards there as it increases in severity. All right, so we saw that little storm head off from the main storm. Seems like the main storm is dying out here based on the um, precipitation or hail that's possibly happening right now. Um, it does seem like it is still popping up and going to the city of Grand Island, or the small town. Um, we still do have lots of smaller storms popping up over in eastern Nebraska. So the wind is going north, and you can expect to see this storm possibly catching that wind and going north. Um, but right now, as it looks, the smaller storm that decided to break off is possibly increasing while the main storm decreases in severity. All right. So again, there is a tornado watch going on. Alright, got the overworn system back up, which is the weather alert system that's on the bottom of the screen here. There is a severe thunderstorm warning for Findlay, Grant, Gray, Haskell, and Kearney. It's tons of tornado warnings. Look like, or tornado watches. It's a massive tornado watch. Hey Adam, what's going on? We are doing a weather stream right now for a 5% tornado possibility in Nebraska, the northeastern part of Nebraska. Looks like the severe thunderstorm warning for, where is this, for Franklin, Phelps, Kearney, and Harlan has been canceled, but we still have that main warning for same storm. The main storm looks like it is slowly decreasing in severity. And I do want to start turning my attention to these smaller storms that are popping up here, but it doesn't look like they are doing much. They definitely are moving at a very high speed, which means they can be pretty short-lived, or they can increase in severity pretty fast and then die pretty fast. But right now, I am putting my focus on this storm right here, which seems like it is increasing. The little storm that broke off of the main one seems to be increasing. All right. So that little storm that popped off a couple minutes ago is starting to increase in severity. These smaller storms that are popping up don't seem to be increasing in severity. They seem to be staying the same. However, we is a very large categorical polygon going on for the central United States, kind of north. But we are looking at the moderate risk up here because that is where the most activity can happen. There is also a tornado warning for this area here, which is in the yellow box, and a severe thunderstorm warning for the areas in the green box. So we will expect to see some warnings and stuff like that happening throughout the day. So far, we don't really have any sort of crazy weather happening here. There is a severe thunderstorm watch going on for the following counties: Cheyenne, Kit Carson, Colorado. So in Colorado, there's a severe thunderstorm, which I believe is possibly this one right here. Let that zoom out so far. um, could possibly be this one. It looks like the storm is pretty strong based on the velocity, which is in the top right, by the way. Um, this storm looks like it is pretty strong here, but Echo Top seems pretty limited today, and the VIL does not seem pretty bad here. There's this little storm right here. Doesn't look like it will increase. It looks like there is a cap in place, it seems. All of these storms are keeping the same kind of echo top right now, but hopefully that cap stays in place and these storms won't produce any tornadoes. It will be pretty cool to see some tornadoes on radar, but other than that, there's really no way of saying if there will or if there won't. But there are definitely lots of storms popping up in and out throughout the day in Nebraska and Iowa. So there are little storms popping up, as you can see. Went over the future radar earlier in the stream, and showed that there were going to be little storms popping up. And what do you know? Just little storms popping up. Not much going on. Let's see if we can see if any chasers are on the ground here. Let's see. See if any chasers are chasing these storms. Looks like we have Ryan Skull chasing this storm.
Really feels like a severe weather day out here.
So this is his stream right now.
Today's probably just stupid, but it's early.
He is in South Dakota right now.
Today's probably just stupid, but it's fine.
John McKinney, yay!
On speaker.
This guy is over here. Doesn't seem like they are live currently. Those streams look like they were from 5 hours ago, it said, so I don't think we have anybody chasing these storms currently, but definitely as the day goes on, there will be some people that are chasing these storms. Today is a pretty decent day in terms of weather. We have a 5% tornado probability as well as lots of severe scattered storms popping up. Seems like this storm is increasing. This smaller storm here looks like it's dropping a bunch of rain. Other than that, there's not much going on. Alright, so these little storms that are popping up do not have any sort of rotation in them. They kind of just look like they are popping up and possibly conjoining into another large wall of storms. But other than that, there is no really severe thunderstorm warnings other than this one down here. In Minden, Kearney, things like that. You can see the bottom of my screen. I do have a overlay for the warnings and watches that are going on right now. Alright, so it does look like these storms are picking up some speed. As you can see, there is a kind of bow forming here. See if I can pause the radar. So if you look, you can see this bow. Usually that means that there is a strong wind pushing on that storm. And if you look at the radar, it does seem like the storm is increasing in speed. Um, so this little storm could possibly turn into a severe storm. But right now, as it is, it's still 60-mile-per-hour winds with quarter-sized hail. Um, so some pretty decent hail happening. Um, but other than that, there's not much going on. There's no rotation. The echo top seems pretty small. The vertical integrated liquid seems to be just some rain right now. Once it gets to the white, I kind of take a probability that there is hail, but it's not likely. Can't really tell if there's hail for sure on radar. Um, kind of just gotta look at it and make and guess what is happening. But this storm seems to be increasing, possibly. Seems pretty small storm. Don't really see it getting larger. There definitely is that bow feature going on. So there's definitely some heavy wind pushing that storm. All right, so it seems that the storm is continuing with its strength. It seems to just be keeping and maintaining a soft kind of storm. It doesn't seem like it is too crazy. This main storm has definitely died off here. Should end in a little bit. The smaller storm has the sky all to itself. So hopefully that'll give it some chance to increase the severity. But other than that, there is really nothing happening lately in this 5%. There are these little storms popping up that have lots of rain. I don't expect, excuse me, I don't expect any of these to produce a tornado um, because they are kind of clustering together, which can choke each other out and not produce anything whatsoever. But the storm down here seems to be splitting again. Looks like it might split. So, no rotation. The rain seems like it is dying off. Um, so the storm shouldn't be going on for that much longer. So, yeah, little severe thunderstorms are popping up throughout the middle of the United States. Um, most of them are in Kansas and Colorado, and there's 5% in Nebraska. So, do expect to see some storms popping in and out throughout the day. All right. No new warnings. It does look like the severe thunderstorm warnings for um, Minden and parts of southern Nebraska have been canceled. Did expect that. Does seem like the storms are slowly canceling out. Um, So now we can focus our attention on these little storms that are popping in. It does look like there is a sort of limit on the echo tops right now. They all look about the same. So the weather seems to be hopefully not increasing, but there's always a chance that it can. All right, so there does seem to be a cap in place going on. So the chances of severe weather are very slim. Um, in terms of tornado, there will definitely be lots of severe thunderstorms and heavy rain going on between this 5% tornado um, chance. But other than that, there's really nothing going on. There is a cap in place, so hopefully that cap stays strong and the um, storms don't exceed the cap and start growing in severity. But cap can always break. Um, yeah, right now, there's just severe thunderstorm warnings and severe thunderstorm watches for the larger part of Nebraska, which is the eastern part of Nebraska, part of Colorado, and part of Kansas for severe thunderstorms. But tornado watches are going on for Nebraska. Wind speeds seem to be pretty normal right now, kind of low. So, low wind speed on the ground. There's still a moderate risk going on, and the hail probability is significant hail for Yankton, Sioux City, and Norfolk, Kansas, um, as well as significant wind. Significant wind for same cities. Um, so lots of significant percentages for everything. It's 5% tornado, significant hail and significant wind, as well as tornado watch for this entire area. Um, but yeah, so there is a cap in place, so always stay weather aware because this cap can break. It just depends on how strong the storm is. So, as we're looking, there's really nothing going on with the 5%. There's a cap in place. Um, However, in Denver, east of Denver, there is a very strong storm going on right now. Um, it seems to just be some high wind speeds. I don't really see a lot of rain going on down here. Um, 60-mile-per-hour winds and multiple weather stations reported 58-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And if you look on the velocity radar, which is this red and green, there is some pretty bright colors, meaning that there is some significant wind going on. Um, Other than that, in Wyoming, there is a small storm, still a severe storm. Looks like it's dying out. Um, there are lots and lots of severe thunderstorm warnings for central United States. We do have this in, where is this? Dodge City, Kansas. We do have this big line of storms here. It seems like there is a new tornado, or not tornado, thunderstorm warning, possibly. I thought this one got canceled, but I guess they re-enabled it, but it doesn't seem too crazy right now. It seems like the storm is stopping. So it looks like that cap is staying strong. That tornado, or not tornado, thunderstorm, sorry. A thunderstorm warning in Wyoming is canceled. The one in Denver is still going strong. Um, Pretty large storm here happening. Um, but it is out of Denver. It is not. I don't really think that there's any small towns or counties over here that are populated. Here we go. We have a considerable tornado or thunderstorm right here. Unless this is a flash flood. Nope, this is a severe thunderstorm warning. Look at that hail core right there. And that echo top is pretty large. So we could potentially see a tornado form here if a hook forms or if we see some rotation on radar. It does look like there is a little bit of rotation happening, as well as a small hook right here. Um, Other than that, I mean, I don't really see much going on here. That is definitely a large potential for a tornado. This is a considerable thunderstorm. So considerable severe thunderstorm, meaning that it could potentially um, produce a tornado, or it can produce very high winds. The source seems to be trained weather spotters. So it looks like we do have a hook forming down here, little one. And if you look at this velocity here, definitely looks like there is potentially a um, rotation going on here. Yeah, it does look like there is a hook forming. So if you are in the following counties: Nachusa, Franklin Grave, Lee Center, Ashton, um, Stewart, anything near this part of Western Chicago, it is around 60 miles from Chicago. So if you are in these areas, please get to your shelters immediately or stay weather aware. It does look like there is a hook forming, but there is no um, tornado watch or warning going on right now. Um, there is hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and it does look like there is a hook. So potential tornado happening right now. We could be seeing some crazy things going on right now. It does look like the echo top has been increasing or decreasing right now. It does look like there is a little bit of rotation going on. So hopefully this storm does not produce a crazy tornado. It is going towards very populated areas. So if you're in the following counties: um, Franklin Grove, Ashton, Nashusa, Lee Center, Amboy, West Brooklyn, Compton, Stewart, make sure that you are going to your safe areas. It could be either if you have a storm shelter or a room that is the lowest part of the house in the middle of the house. So a closet or anything like that, basement. Um, Make sure that you get there and wait for this hook to end potentially. It does look like there's a little bit of rotation, but nothing crazy. Once that tornado drops on the ground, there will definitely be a tornado warning going on. Looking back over in Nebraska, there's really nothing going on. Storms are still there. Looks like the cap is a little bit higher now. Um, but if you are in these areas, please stay weather aware, as a storm can drop a tornado soon. But hopefully it holds off. All right, so it seems like the hook has gone away. There is a there's still crazy hail and liquid going down from the clouds. There is a little bit of rotation still. The echo top seems to be holding strong. Um, does not seem like it's increasing. It looks like it is decreasing, however. So, um, definitely stay weather aware if you are in the eastern part of or western part of Chicago. Um, Again, this storm is around 50 to 70 miles away from um, Chicago, and it is heading towards Chicago. But if it does enter Chicago, it might die off if it gets to this lake. Um, all right. So this is a possible tornado producing storm. It is a considerable thunderstorm, which means that it is a stronger tornado and could potentially produce a tornado with this thunderstorm. So definitely looks like it is slowing down. It doesn't look like it will produce a tornado, but there is some rotation in the atmosphere or in the clouds right now. So continue watching the storm. Um, there's still a lot of smaller storms popping up um, in the 5%. So, still lots of storms. There is a large cap breakthrough right here, a large echo top. So, this one could be a potential strong storm. We will keep our eye on the severe storm that is confirmed to be severe. Does look like there was a little bit of rotation. There's still a lot of rotation. All right, so it does seem like this storm is slowly dying. It's still got a crazy hail core, but it's definitely decreasing in strength. There is not a confirmed tornado yet. There's still 2-inch hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts for this area that is affected by the severe thunderstorm warning, which includes Franklin Grove, Lee Center, Ashton. Um, Other than that, that is kind of it. There is no tornado. There is still some interesting rotation up in storm, but it looks like the top is decreasing, so we can take a gander that this storm is going to um, so let's go ahead and check back on the storms up over here. It does look like this storm is increasing in strength. It's kind of an odd spot because all of the radar is gone. It's not near the storms at all. The storm is increasing. That cap definitely broke. The echo top is getting larger. Oh, in Santa Fe, there is or up, not in Santa Fe, up in New Mexico, there is a considerable um, thunderstorm, but there is no tornado warning. Oh, here we go. We have a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm that I was looking at, I believe, for this cluster of storms here. So there's definitely a lot of different types of rotation going on. I don't see a clear form of rotation happening in these storms, so we should be good, hopefully. So there is a kind of large amount of that. There's a kind of large amount of rotation going on. Nothing too severe. Could just be noise from the radar. However, it does not mean that there isn't any rotation. From the looks of most of the radars, it looks like there isn't any sort rotation. It does seem like it is just moving pretty fast. The storm is moving at, let's see, 60 kts knots. So 60 knots, moving pretty fast. Let's see if I can change. Yes, I can't. But yeah, so these storms are increasing. Oh, look at that. We have a pretty large cap breakthrough here. The echo top is blowing up right now. Very large echo top right now. Um, so we are looking at the little cluster of storms that are going on in the 5% tornado warning in Nebraska. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for the following counties. I believe it's Antelope, Knox, Pierce, Chase, Perkins in Nebraska, and in Colorado there is Kit Carson, Yuma, Adams, Arifo, and Elbert. Um, we have a new. Oh, it looks like we have a upgraded thunderstorm watch for where is this? Denver, not the Denver area, and where is this? Nebraska. So southwest Nebraska. Looks like there is some sort of rotation going on in this storm. So if you are in the following counties, Imperial, make sure that you get to your safe places as soon as you can. There does seem to be a possible tornado happening right now. There is some very, very tight rotation going on, but it could just be seeing things. Does look like a potential tornado. Possible tornado going on. Um, in southwest Nebraska, kind of northeast of Colorado. But it does look like there is some sort of rotation going on in this storm. All right, so that tornado. Dang, my mic was disconnected. So there's a potential tornado for the county Imperial or the small town Imperial. So if you are in that area, Imperial, Kansas, Nebraska. If you are in Imperial, Nebraska, you need to get to your places immediately. It does look like there is some sort of tight rotation going on over here. So let's see. So golf ball sized hail and 60 mile per hour wind gusts for this storm in southwest Nebraska. Um, it does look like the storms that we were looking at before have definitely increased in size. Um, looks like there's two separate storms together. It looks like they might choke each other out, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so there's three separate storms going on now for that 5% in eastern Nebraska. All right, so it does look like those two storms that popped up are potentially going to cave in on each other and choke each other out. However, there is a smaller storm up northern of these storms that does have the sky all to itself. There is there's another storm popping up down here. It's a smaller storm, looks like, but it does have a stronger cap. Um, Looks like a cap is possibly broken. Um, I was hoping that it would stay so that there wouldn't be any severe weather, but it does look like there is a pretty decent storm going through the following counties: Western Pierce County, Northern Antelope County, and southwestern Knox County and northeastern Nebraska. And this has 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with quarter-sized hail. So, pretty decent storm going on here. Um, Not much is going on. So, it does seem like there is potential for these two storms to eat each other. It does look like they are forming um, a single storm here. So potentially this could turn out as either a storm that loses all of its steam or a storm that increases in severity. Don't think it will increase. But yeah, I'm gonna go make some food. I'll leave this on right here. So I'll be back in like 5 minutes. All right, everybody, I am back. Oh, look at that. We have a considerable thunderstorm warning. There is no tornado um, at all. It doesn't say that there is a potential for a tornado. Um, but there is this massive cap right here, it looks like. Or maybe it's falling through. Can't really tell. Or it's a really tall cap. I can't really tell. Maybe the echo top is. Oh, look at that. We have a tornado warning. So we have a tornado warning for Iowa with the county Powshek. Um, there is a possible tornado with this one right here, I believe, or this is a tornado watch. Can't tell. Severe thunderstorm with a possible tornado over here, which is the purple, and then a severe thunderstorm warning that has produced a tornado here. If you look up here, you can see that tight rotation. So there is a tornado and a hook on radar. So there is a tornado going on for Iowa, the state of Iowa. It is going from Brooklyn to Deep River. So if you are in those areas, you do need to get to your safe places immediately. It is definitely a confirmed tornado on radar. For sure. That is very strong. Looks like it will continue into the areas of Deep River, Iowa. There is a potential tornado causing thunderstorm over Iowa City. Um, so there is definitely a tornado on radar here. Um, Potentially also being a ground spotted tornado as well. Looks like the rotation seems to be going away, but it says that the source is a radar indicated rotation, and public reported a funnel cloud near Brooklyn. Don't know where Brooklyn is. It is actually right on top of Brooklyn right now. So this hook did just form recently at 5:09 CDT. Very strong hook on radar here. The rotation doesn't seem like it's very major, but that can always change. So, yeah, we have a confirmed tornado on radar near Iowa City over the town of Brooklyn going into Deep River, Iowa. So if you are in those locations, make sure that you are in your safe space as soon as you can be. Computer's lagging. It's all these warnings. So we have a new thunderstorm warning for Wellman and what does it say? Gorney? Gay Gorney? I can't tell. Um, but yeah, we do have a tornado on radar. Looks like the rotation seems to be dying down. Right. Enjoying my food while I'm watching this go down. So there is a strong echo top for Brooklyn. The tornado seems to be moving quite slow. I don't think there is a drop, like a actual tornado happening right now on the ground. Hey Sean, what's up? We are looking at radar for Iowa City right now, and all across the United States, where there's a 5% chance of a tornado happening. It is hurricane season, yes, sir. I heard of the one that was in over here in South Carolina, or maybe it was North Carolina, the one that happened the other day. Oh, there's a new one. I haven't heard of that one. Take a look. Let's see if we can find it on my radar. Take a break from this tornado. Looks like it may fall through. The hook is looking very weak right now. So, yeah, that hook looks pretty weak. So you said there's another one coming through. I'm not sure. There's one, this one, that's actually a capital. I don't see one currently. Let's see if I can look at a new hurricane coming through. Oh yeah, I heard about the next moon mission. It's pretty cool. Be nice to see how it looks now with new cameras and stuff. Definitely a lot of advances between the 1900s and the late early 2000s. It does look like this hook has regained its strength. Looks like on radar. It has finally passed over the city of Brooklyn, or the town of Brooklyn. There's a little tiny rotation in the storm. I don't really see much of it, so I wouldn't say that it's a strong tornado. It looks like it is falling through here. Let's hope that it does fall through. The storm down in Nebraska, eastern Nebraska, looks like it is forming a pretty decently sized echo top with a combined high wind as well as a pretty significant hail force. So this one does seem like a pretty severe storm coming through. The hazard is 2-inch hail with 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. So if you are in the following counties with Tilden, Plainview, Lay, uh, Osmond, Pierce, Randolph, uh, Creighton, Bloomfield. Make sure that you guys are staying weather aware, as there is a potential for some crazy weather to come through. All right, so this storm that I have been tracking for a little bit, I had my eye on for a little bit. If it continues going east, it will gain in strength and potentially produce a tornado. Potentially, it could go north south, but right now it looks like it is going to go east and pick up some pace there, potentially drop down a tornado. We're now almost out of Nebraska, almost into I. Actually, we are out of Nebraska, I believe. We're almost out of Nebraska, but Nebraska and Iowa have a very high chance of tornadoes. Storms are popping up. This one down here seems to still be rotating, or not. It looks like it just fell through. Um, if this storm does continue to go east, it will increase in severity. So if you are in the following locations of Lay, Pierce, Randolph, Osmond, Plainview, Laurel, and Wayne, and any other places near that, make sure that you are weather aware. All right. So, going back over to Brooklyn, um, there's very little rain happening with this tornado. It does look like the hook has disappeared and the rotation has completely ceased. So I believe that they may cancel this tornado warning soon. There's no visible radar rotation um, or radar hook. There's still a very significant hail core going on um, down over here. There does seem to be some hail going on. Um, Other than that, there's not really much going on. I do have my eye on this storm right here, so I'm going to continue tracking this storm as it does look like it may get stronger as it's going east. It does look like it's going north now. There's a very tall echo top and some really strong winds, as well as some incredibly, incredibly dark purple. I think that's the highest I think I've ever seen it go on the precipitation of reflection. Definitely either getting some crazy hail there or they're getting some insane rain. Alright, I might call this stream done. Nobody's really watching it. However, there will be lots of severe weather in Iowa and Nebraska, so the ones that did tune in, thank you all so much for tuning in. And the next time that there is some crazy weather going on, I'll try to stream it. So, yeah, thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, clear skies.